Afadhali mzee ambaye ni mtulivu, ambaye hana haja ya kujaza mifuko yake, ambaye atachunga masilahi ya watu yake, badala ya mdomo tamtamu 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 tamtamu. Lakini akiingia ni wale wa kufanya moja yako, nusu ya mwananchi, mbili yako na tano yangu. Na mnawajua nyinyi mna.
Kutafuta uongozi kwa kutumia dini au kutumia kabila unagawa watu. Kazi ya uongozi ni kujenga watu wawe kitu kimoja.
The 2.2 billion has been spent in the office of the president and State House between July and September. If you do that calculation, it means that we spend in that office 23 million per day and 1 million per hour. That cannot be sustainable.
Tunaingia vijijini, mijini na hata jijini kukuletea taarifa mchana kutwa. Usiku tunakaa kitako, tunadadavua tukichanganua taarifa na makala muhimu yanayokuhusu wewe na familia yako.
Nasikia watu wanasema baba ametusaliti. Between baba kutusaliti na sisi kusaliti baba, nani amesaliti mwingine?
Inapeangwa, it mostly goes to foreign ministries. So Baba is overqualified for that position.
To build this railways for Africa. So now he's thinking about tumemkataa kama baba wetu.
Unaweza kuwa kuna mtoto ulizaa, ukapatia nchi, ikuwe inamfanya vile inataka.
Uhuru has been working very hard. Ruto akaenda huko na nguvu. Ruto was never invited in the inauguration.
Ungana na Bernard Ngozi kwenye Open Forum Political Show kuanzia saa 4 usiku hadi dakika zake kila siku ya wiki kwenye Soundcard Talk.
Open Forum Political Discussion Show. The show that gives you an opportunity to air what you feel and think about the latest development.
Tukutane Soundcard Talk.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are glad you're watching. Thank you so much for making time to join us. This is Sound Candid Talk, Open Forum Political Discussion Show. The show that gives you an opportunity to air what you feel and think about the latest development on our political front. Well, a lot is taking place in this country, some of it very discouraging and very disheartening because of the kind of administration we have in relation to its sensitivity to what bedevils the country and the people as a whole. Well, the bandits are on the rampage. Insecurity is on the height in Baringo and the environs until now the UDA members of parliament are saying we can't take this anymore. We can't sing the chorus anymore we must call this administration to order. That is, as far as lives being lost in the hands of bandits is concerned. Well, beside that, we have members of parliament, namely Babu Owino, Wamuchomba, and Amisi, who are now saying it is time no longer. We need to revert to mandamano so that we can get this government doing what it's supposed to do. What is your take on the same? On the other hand, Gachagua has gone on national radio and rendered or offered an apology to the first family, that is the Kenyatta family, for his spirited attacks throughout of the campaign period. After the campaign period, he has been on constant, in constant confrontation with the first family, and now he's asking for forgiveness. The big question we're asking tonight: should the Kenyatta family forgive Gachagua for his continued relentless attacks? A yes or no answer will help out. That question is available on our YouTube channel, Sound Candy Talk Live. We are live on Sound Candy Talk YouTube, Sound Candy Talk Live YouTube channel, Sound Candy Talk Facebook page, and Sound Candy Talk X handle on X. Thank you so much for joining us. We salute each one of you for making every effort to be here. Apologies for starting late, being overwhelmed by the activities of the day, as well as keeping up with the night show. But I believe we are going to have enough time to go through what is on the table until we exhaust whatever that needs to be done. Thank you so much. And it appears the people on the comment section are already here and don't have kind words about the Gachagua apology. So it appears we have mixed responses, and we'll be going through each one of them. I salute each one of you. Please, let's make every effort to invite somebody. Remind our friends. Thank you, those joining us on TikTok. We salute each one of you. We value your presence. And of course, we are glad that you're able to follow the proceedings right here. And we encourage you to join on the main screen using that link in the bio to the YouTube channel, which will lead you right into this particular show. Otherwise, we call upon you, please remind somebody that we are here. And our YouTube friends, remind our other friends that we are not able to transmit on our usual main YouTube channel, Sound Candy Talk, until we are done with the suspension. And so please, we are found on Sound Candy Talk Live. Calling everybody and let them know we are live on Sound Candy Talk Live, our backup channel, since the other channel is having problems. And therefore, we call upon you, let's start together and let's talk these manenos yanayohusu maswala nyeti tu ambayo yanakumba nchi hii na yanatokana na uongozi mbaya wa William Ruto. So cha muhimu hapa, kuna masuala matatu ambayo nimetenga tutakayo yashughulikia. La kwanza ni hili swala la maandamano kwa sababu ya reforms. Mambo yameharibika. So Babu Owino, Wamuchomba na Amisi wanasema haiwezi kuvumiliwa, lazima turuti katika our different regions and organize maandamano. Mko tayari kwa hayo maandamano? Utatuambia katika kipindi cha leo. La pili, kwa sababu ya hela ya serikali kukosa kufika shule kwa wakati, wanafunzi ilikuwa kila mmoja apate shilingi 11,000. Walimu wanasema zilizotumwa na serikali ni 3,800. Kwa hivyo walimu wameamua shule zifunge mapema kwa sababu hamna hela ya kuweka wanafunzi shuleni. Hilo ndio swala ambalo linaangazia nini? Masomo, na serikali ya William Ruto inaonekana haidhamini masomo na haijapeana priority. Lingine ni kwamba William Ruto anasema parastatals zote ambazo zitengenezi faida zifungwe ili hao wafanyikazi watafutiwe kazi sehemu nyingine na hizo sifungwe badala ya kutengeneza losses. Hapa si wanasema fisi akitaka kula mwanawe anamuuliza mbona umeanza kukaa kama mbuzi hivi? Mbona harufu yako inakaa kama kondoo? Haya, mtanambia nyinyi. Kwangu mimi hapa ni kuhakikisha kwamba mnaongea. Kwa hivyo karibuni, tumia hiyo link, ingia studio ukaseme yako mawili matatu tunapoanza kipindi chetu kwa fujo. Asante sana Charles Green kwa kuwa hapa. Tuni Mhamud, asante sana kwa kuwahi. Bana, karibu sana. Kuna Paris Washington anasema Uhuru will not accept the apology. He is known to have an ego, but the apology is meant for the central people. He needs to galvanize the region for 2032. Haya. So is it a matter of ego or people deserving forgiveness? Why should you go around the country for over 3 years castigating people and then turn around and say you're apologizing? I mean, what is the purpose of apology? Apologies meant for mistakes done or deliberate effort sponsored attacks against people who don't even concern you? Well, I'm not advocating for hate or anything like that, but what Gachagua is asking for, I don't think it can be gotten that way. In my calculated, limited understanding, you can teach me otherwise. Costa, karibu kwa show, asante sana. William Adilo, karibu kwa show. Nani huyu mwingine? Kuna William Adilo, thank you. Kuna Boss Lady, karibu kwa show. Salome Amashibo, welcome to the show. Good evening to you. Alafu nani huyu? Huyo boss anasema okay. Waendelee. Aje wewe. Unaonaje hii serikali ya Sakaya Ruto? Sisi tunasema maandamano. Waende nyumbani hii serikali. Huyo ni Boss Lady akitoa maoni yake. Karibu, hiyo namba ya watazamaji ipandi. Hebu jitahidi kupandisha hiyo namba ya watazamaji. Lazima tufikie kila mtu. Don't just watch. Be a participant, not a spectator. Let's all engage. Let's share the link with everybody in our lives. Let as many as possible join into the discourse, even as we start the conversation. Ili swala la maandamano kwangu mimi ni kama limeiva, na limeiva sana. Kama Wakenya wana hiyo washapasha misuli kwa haya mambo na they can't wait. Just to give you a sample is this I think Zakayo was going for the AFC Leopards something and this is what he made. I think is this one. Let's just start out with this. Even as you invite somebody, please invite somebody. Don't watch alone. Let's be here. Let's do what we must do. Thank you very much.
Zakayo! Zakayo shuka! Zakayo! Zakayo mtoza! Zakayo! Huko wani president. Wewe tunaona president. Tunakurekodi. Tunakuweka kwa ipoa unashikwa. Unatupiga tunakurekodi tunakuweka kwa ipoa unashikwa. Unaona longi ambao utamevaa longi ambao hapo. Zakayo! Unamuogopa? Kwani unamuogopa?
Hiyo ni sample tu, au ni wa Kenya wako stadium. Zakayo ameenda kutoa nini speech yake huko, lakini haya ndiyo makaribisho. So mimi ningependa uangalie hiyo scenario na vile watu wanaongea, kisha uanze kuangalia vile hayo maandamano yatakuwa. Na ningependa kuanza na hiyo video ya maandamano, lakini karibu kwa studio. Wengi ni kama hamko, tafadhali karibuni kila moja. Naomba karibisha mtu, kumbusha mtu kwamba kipindi kipo na tunaendelea. Watu X wako watu 8. Sound Candy Talk Facebook huko mmelala. Adriano alienda wapi? Karibisha watu. Sound Candy Talk live ndio tuko na watu 28. Please tukaribishane, tuingie, tujaze lori ili tuendelee na mjadala vizuri. So let's start with our main story, which is the members of parliament who are saying now we cannot take this anymore, we must take action. Let's look at this. Even as you continue inviting somebody, let's get the number of viewers increasing. Please share the link in all your WhatsApp group, all your Facebook groups. Let's do what we must do. Thank you very much.
The interest of Kenyans, very objectively, are fought for. Not limited to holding rallies to discuss the plight and the issues affecting Kenyans, not limited to calling for maandamanos, regional maandamanos in every county, in every constituency, in every ward. And these maandamanos will better be imagined than experienced. And today we are here to talk about various issues. After that, we will be telling you a timetable on how we'll be moving as members of the press, because we want you to be part of us. And the first issue that we want to talk about is the issue of health. Mheshimiwa Wamuchomba has talked about the issue of fertilizers and the plight of farmers in various parts of this country. All the members of parliament here will talk about different issues. I want to talk about the issue of the health crisis. Right now, doctors are striking, and this is their 14th day into their strike. We don't want the government to relax, to let the doctors strike for over 100 days that happened between the year 2016 and 2017. There was a CBA, a collective bargain agreement, that was signed between the government and the doctors. And it entailed, number one, that the doctors be paid their arrears owned by the government. Up to now, the doctors in this country are owned some money by the government. Number two, that the interns be deployed. For the past 1 year, doctors who have trained, taken 6 years to train, and every year a doctor is trained with an average of around 600,000 Kenya shillings, which comes to around 3.6 million Kenya shillings. Then, after finishing your degree, you are not deployed anywhere. Clear on matters education that this government in itself, from the executive, is not educated. When you look at the members of the cabinet, they are not educated. Therefore, they cannot give preference to education in this country. So on matters capitation, the government is involved in a PR exercise. Look at what President Ruto has done in the last 1 year. Look at the marking of the KCPE examination. Just marking can be a problem to this government. What about releasing money? Number two, the KCSE exams. Marking of the KCSE exams was a problem. What about now? Number three, the varsity education. The government decided to increase fees such that the minimal amount of money for a social science course, an art course, is costing 300,000 Kenya shillings. Where will a Mama Mboga get that 300,000 Kenya shillings to educate their children? Up to now, as we speak, over 50,000 students haven't reported to Form 1, up to now. But the government keeps saying that, you see, they're involved in matters education. They are not. So Ruto should not lie to us about issues of education, and we will start querying about his credentials. Because a sane president cannot employ a person who is not even qualified to be a secretary. This is an intentional form of sabotage, because the government wants parents to pay fee using the e-citizen so that they can collect that money. Those parents are paying fees using chicken, goats, and some of them are working for those schools. How will you put a goat inside e-citizen? Exactly. You know, if the government fails to release this money, it is very simple. This team that you are seeing here, the ground team that you are seeing here, is out to sacrifice for the interest of Kenyans. We are going to put from primary school kids.
From the time of colonialism, from the fight for multipartyism, from the fight for promulgation of the new constitution, and to the fight for devolution, every generation has had a chance to rise up and do what needed to be done. We are now called upon as a generation to rise up and do what needs to be done. We fought democracy, we fought new constitution, we fought multipartyism. Now it's time for economic emancipation. This is the duty of our generation. And we are here to announce that there is a new awakening. The young, the energetic, the charismatic, the revolutionary have arisen. And it's not going to be business as usual on the streets. We are going to rise up and take up our duty, our cardinal duty to protect and preserve the interests of the local mwananchi. On the issue of the health, it has been my proposal, even during the BBI and even the NADCO report, that we must have a health service commission. Just the way we have a teacher service commission, we no longer hear about a teacher strike.
Disclaimer, yes, I want to give a disclaimer that I'm not Azimio, but I belong to the group of MPs that believe that the power of leaders emanate from the voters. And I come from a piece of cloth where I believe in the leadership model of that I am a trustee of the people that voted for me, and I am their delegate. So I speak their language because I am a delegate. I am a trusted delegate. So if my people in Githunguri do not want taxes, I speak for them as their delegate. I have no mandate to speak my issues that pertains my people without their permission. And that is why I've joined this group called the Ground Team. This is the team that listens to the ground, and that is why I've joined this team.
We took an oath. And one of the last lines in our oath is that there's a word there that says conscientiously discharge our duties. It means all members of parliament should use their conscience. That is why when you saw some of us opposing the finance bill, we didn't do it purely because of whether you're in Azimio or even Kenya Kwanza. It's because we used our conscience. And we can see some of the things that are happening in our country are wrong. The first issue that I want to talk about is the issue that you've seen in the medical sector. We have our doctors that are on strike. And I also want to bring another issue of NHIF. Because NHIF right now is refusing to make payments, especially in private hospitals. So we have so many people who have bills that they are unable to pay. And that means they are detained by the doctors or the hospitals. That is something that we must insist. And if the CS is unable to do that job, we'd ask her, step aside. Let somebody else take over and be able to handle that issue.
I can state categorically that we are now having a looming health crisis. And we will be supporting our doctors in this matter. If they are going to walk in the street, we are together because we are the ground street. So the Sky team has failed to listen to our doctors. Number two, the issues we are facing, we are in lacuna state. We don't have any IBC system in place. One constituency has gone almost a year without representation in the parliament. We are experiencing what we call constitutional crisis. We want full and immediate implementation of NADCO report as soon as possible. The other issue of fertilizer, as you have heard and even witnessed, we have fake fertilizer. And I was shocked by one of the CS member here saying that we don't have a fake fertilizer. While our farmers are stressing it, we need that issue to be done away immediately.
There are issues that this government is so vicious about. When it comes to passing the punitive finance bill, we saw what transpired when the executive was so vicious in making sure the bill passes. But when it comes to matters of national interest to the public, like the issue of health, you can see the laxity. We cannot have a country with doctors striking 64 years after independence, when Mzee Kenyatta used to talk about eradicating disease in this country. but they are not serious even in trying to address the issue of doctors. Doctors' career is one of the most lucrative career that the youth of this country have hope in. But if you tell us that you can train to be a doctor and be punished by this regime, you can see where we are going. And that is why we've chosen to stand up and say, we are the future of this country and will not watch it go down the drain. We are saying, as team ground, that the government listens to the people, listens to the youth. They have promised us jobs for the youth, affordable housing, and so much is not going the way they promised us. We are demanding that the youth of this country be given employment.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for staying tuned. I trust you are well wherever you are. You can hear it. The young Turks, the young politicians, they are calling themselves ground soldiers, are ready to take on the Ruto administration and see to it that they either do what they are supposed to do or face the music. I believe you are understanding them and you feel them, and probably you want to be part and parcel of that particular change. I believe that is the change that counts at this point in time. We can no longer sit back and watch our country go to the dogs because some people are not comfortable with Kenyans being comfortable. It is sad that somebody can fight to be in power, but he's in power to oppress the people and make sure that nothing good comes to the people. That is not the purpose of leadership. Leadership is in easing people's life, is in facilitating people's success, is ensuring that the economy thrives for the success of the entirety of the country, and as well as making sure that whatever it is that should be taking place in the interest of Kenyans should be given priority. But the William Ruto administration is keen on ensuring that everyone else is listened to except the Kenyans. Everyone else is taken care of except Kenyans. That is not the way to go. So welcome on board even as we start this great conversation. You get the gist of our discussion. Karibu sana. Naomba tumia hiyo link. Ebu nikupatie link hiyo tena. Kwa wale ambao mjaiona, link ya kutumia kuingia studio ndio hii. You click on the link, allow StreamYard to configure for you the camera as well as the audio, and you will be in this space for us to get talking. Unfortunately, the people on X cannot get the link because StreamYard is not allowed to post the link on X, but you can follow the proceedings from there. And if you want to join into the discussion, use the link in the bio. It will lead you to the YouTube channel where we're having this discussion. Asante sana kwa wote wale mnatufuata Facebook. Tuko Facebook page ambayo inaitwa Sound Candy Talk kama kawaida, na kuomba tafadhali makinika kukaribisha mtu. Haya mambo unaonaje? Na kuomba tafadhali karibu. Namuona Freedom hapa anasema okay, anasema good to see you. Thank you, good to see you too. Karibu tusonge mbele. Tatu Juma, thank you so much. He says that is the way, youth power. Haya, mambo ni kama hayo. Karibu kila mmoja. Boss lady anasema after doctor, next is teachers. After that are the police, and it will not be good for this country. Okay? Kama hiyo ndio lazima, basi wacha iwe, kwa sababu hatuwezi kuendelea kuvumilia maovu kwa sababu mtu mmoja ameamua kutugandamiza, ili hali tuna haki ya kikatiba kulindwa na serikali na kulindwa na wote ambao wamepewa mamlaka ya kutuongoza. Kwa hivyo kama wewe utaki kuwajibika kulinda Wakenya, uonyeshwe mlango. Hiyo ndio njia pekee ambayo inaeleweka. Peter Odundo I say I trust those leaders. Asante sana. Haya, karibu. Naomba tafadhali tumakinike. Esther Stoll, good evening to you. Thank you so much. Naomba tafadhali, nani huyu hajaingia studio? Karibu studio, karibu kaseme yako mawili matatu. Na unaona tu ground vile inakaa. Umeona vile FC Leopards wameconfront Zakayo face to face mpaka polisi wakaja kuingilia kati, and polisi wakapewa onyo, ukijaribu kutuingilia sisi tutachukua wewe picha, tunaweka aipoa, wewe unafutwa kazi. Kwa hivyo Wakenya wamekuwa fearless, Wakenya wako tired, Wakenya wako fed up, jile wanatafuta ni kiberiti tu. Kwa hivyo yule ambaye haoni hii, basi hana macho, na mwenye macho anasema anaambiwa tazama. Okay, inaonekana watu wa Kenya Kwanza hawaoni haya yote, lakini kulingana na dalili ilivyo na vile ground inakaa, there is no business as usual, especially as it touches on the freedoms of the Kenyan people, as well as the sitting pretty of the Kenyans. Kenyans are tired, they are fed up, and they are not ready to take nonsense anymore. And so whoever that is playing with this, who thinks this is a passing cloud, who think that Kenyans are going to forget and move on, I don't think this is going to be possible. It has gone in for too long. We have never been here before. We have never had a government that serves the interest of the conspicuously serves the interest of foreigners at the expense of the locals. It is bad news. You had the American ambassador saying now the Kenya police are not going to lead it. They say, in fact, she said clearly, William Ruto and team told us this is a UN mission. Kenya is a signatory. We are in this because we are part of the UN. Now, the American ambassador said the mission is not UN mission, peace mission. It's a different mission altogether. And 1,000 Kenyan police will go for training first before the camp is set in Haiti. And then they go. Why should you get people from Kenya to train when you can recruit Haitians, teach them how to fight, then they go and fight their own people? This thing is smelling bad. And we need to speak up. We need to speak up. Tuache mchezo hii ya kuchezewa akili, kuzungushwa akili na Zakayo. Naomba tafadhali tumakinike. Karibu kila moja. Naomba tafadhali. Nani huyo aje ingia studio? Kina wakereketo wameenda wapi? Ni kama wamelala because it's after midnight, wala ambao mko East Africa. Lakini naomba tafadhali wacha nirudishe watu wa TikTok, tulikuwa tumekatikiwa. Naomba tafadhali tumakinike. Let me just bring this in even as we continue with this conversation. Let's just hear out the problems that Kenyans are raising up by reason of what is going on.
With schools set to close for first-term holidays next week, public secondary schools are still struggling with inadequate funds, thanks to a huge shortfall in capitation for first-term released by the government. While every learner in public secondary school is supposed to receive 11,122 shillings for term 1, the government released only 3,877 shillings, forcing some of them to consider closing schools earlier, as Shadrach Miti reports.
Every student in public secondary school is supposed to receive 22,244 shillings per year. The money is supposed to be distributed in the ratio of 50% in term 1, 30% in term 2, and 20% in term 3. However, with schools set to close next week, the government has only released 3,877 shillings instead of the required 11,122 shillings per student for term 1.
The free-day secondary school of 22,244 was instituted in 2017. Currently, the Kenyan shilling has depreciated. What we had expected was something like to increase the figures higher.
So we need a thorough total audit for the issue of capitation in our schools within the ministry, because we believe a lot of money is remaining in the ministry. Are you aware that principals are being forced to write receipts of monies that they have not expended and forward to the ministry?
With the government reportedly owing nearly 58 billion shillings to public secondary schools, principals have been under pressure to close schools earlier than expected.
This is a very, very dangerous trend. It is important to note that not most of the received funds went to clear the debts owed to sundry creditors.
It is upon the Ministry of Education to actually give the exact numbers of students who are in all schools. The fact is that this ministry does not include all the students because there are many students outside there who are not on NEMIS.
Some schools have already been taken to court by suppliers for failing to pay money for services offered and goods supplied. Political leaders and other education stakeholders have faulted the Ministry of Education for being inconsistent over capitation. Recently, Education Principal Secretary Belio Kipsang noted the student population had risen by 1 million, posing a significant challenge to government funding. Appearing before the National Assembly's Public Accounts Committee, Kipsang said the government would release 16 billion shillings to finance school operations. The PS told the committee that the government had allocated 65 billion shillings for free secondary education, with 25% of this amount already released. Shadrach Miti, KT News.
President William Ruto has put on notice state corporations that continue.
Okay, hali ndio hivyo katika shule. Serikali ya William Ruto, licha ya kupunguza hela ambazo zinapaswa kupeana kwa kila mwanafunzi kutoka 22,000 mpaka 11,000, hata hiyo 11,000 wajaweza kupeana kwa shule. Ile wamesucceed kupeana ni 3,800. Sasa hii ni kuanguka ama kufanyaje? Kwa sababu kama ilikuwa walipe 22,000 na Uhuru Kenyatta alikuwa analipa 22,000, okay, kwa kila mwanafunzi. Ruto kuingia kwa ofisi akasema, kuna pesa ambayo inatumika vibaya kwa sababu inapeana kwa subsidy ya petrol. Kuna pesa inatumika vibaya kwa sababu inapeana kwa kazi kwa vijana. Kuna pesa inatumika vibaya kwa sababu inalipa linda mama na hiyo mambo yote. Hizo pesa zote zikakusanywa pamoja, William Ruto ndo anajua kule ziko. Okay? So baada ya kukata hizi vitu zote, mbona ashindwe kulipa wanafunzi ama kuhakikisha kwamba wanafunzi wakikaa shule wanapewa kiwango cha hela ambazo inatosha kwa weka shule na wasome bila kupata shida? Ni nini hiki ambacho William Ruto anafanya kinachokula hela ambayo ilikuwepo wakati wa Uhuru Kenyatta, hela ambayo ilitosha wakati wa Uhuru Kenyatta? Sai vitu mingi ambavyo serikali ilikuwa inafanyia mwananchi vilikatizwa wakati Ruto aliingia kwa ofisi. Mbona ashindwe na kulipia wanafunzi? Hilo ndo swali langu. Mnaambia ni nini hiki ambacho Ruto anafanya? Ajengi expressway, Ruto hajengi barabara. There are no serious projects taking place. What is it that is eating all the money that the Ruto administration is not able to take care of education? Okay, is not able to take care of healthcare. Is not able even to pay NHF, and NHF is not able to pay hospitals for services already rendered. What is going on in this country? Well, welcome on board. Let's get talking. Karibu kwa show kila moja. Naomba tafadhali kama unaingia studio muingie tukajadili masuala haya. Kama leo inaonekana wengi tu wamechoka. Sijui ni kuwa kwa matanga ama ni nini kimeendelea. Karibuni naomba. Wacha nione hapa kura tumepiga vipi. Should Kenyatta family forgive Gachagua? Where are we here? Okay. Let me refresh so that I can get the current state of affairs into what is going on. Well, here we go. 17 people have liked the video and 35 people have cast their vote on Sound Candy Talk Live. Well, here is the verdict. Should Kenyatta family forgive Gachagua for his relentless attacks to Mama Ngina? Okay. 11% wanasema yes, asamehewe, but 89% wanasema no, hakuna haja ya kusamehe yeye. Yeye alitenda dhambi, akiona hii ni dhambi na akafurahia kutekeleza dhambi, kwa hivyo abebe mzigo wake. Wengi wa Kenya wanafeel hivyo, sijui wewe vipi? Then watu 18 wamelike video, Tafadhali tuendelee kulike video na tuendelee kukaribishana, na naomba tuchangie katika masuala haya, tuelewane. It is important that we all do what we must do. Thank you so much for being here. I trust unatupata na tunasonga mbele. So wanasema wengi wa Kenya kwamba Gachagua asisamehewe kwa kumkosea heshima Mama Ngina na familia ya Kenyatta, familia anzilishi ya taifa hili. Wewe unaonaje? Tungependa kupata kura yako. Piga hapo kwa YouTube, tutakuelewa. And then tunashukuru wote ambao mnatufuata kwa wapi hapa. X mnaendelea, mko 13. Asante sana. Tuendelee kukaribishana kwa kila platform kule upo, karibisha mtu. Facebook ni kama mmelala. Facebook ndio wamelala kabisa. Wako watu 3 peke yake. Hey Facebookers, amkeni, amkeni, amkeni. Kwani ninyi usingizi imewalemea? Although mchana mlikuwa mbele, mlikuwa mbele sana. Kwa hivyo tafadhali tuamshane, tumakinike. 40 people on YouTube. Thank you everybody. Please, let's keep inviting each other. Let's do what we must do. Nataka tuangazie hili swala. Our grand soldiers wanasema serikali hii haitaki kusikia wananchi, kwa hivyo lazima ilazimishwe. We uko wapi kwa swala hili? Alafu serikali ya William Ruto inashindwaje kulipia wanafunzi, kulipia masomo? Let's just look at that, because the universities are crying, the high schools are crying, the primary schools are crying, junior secondary is crying. What is going on with William Ruto and money? Where is William Ruto taking money? How come he has cut a lot of what was going to the help the wananchi, and he's still not able to meet the demands? Where is the money going? That's a question I'm asking, and I need an answer. Where is the money going? Because he is not building the expressway like Uhuru Kenyatta. While Uhuru Kenyatta was building the expressway, wanafunzi walikuwa wanapokea 22,000 kila moja kuanzia 2017. Okay. While Uhuru Kenyatta was building the what are they called, the bypasses, okay, southern bypass, western, wherever, all the bypasses. While they were in construction, Uhuru Kenyatta was paying for Linda Mama. He was paying for nini, capitation ya wanafunzi shuleni. He was subsidizing petrol to see to it that bei ya vyakula na essential products haipandi visivyo. He was still taking care of COVID-19. Where is this money going to? Ama Uhuru Kenyatta alikuwa anatumia pesa yake? Talk to me, where you are. I need to know. Watu wa TikTok, samahani, you can't come here. I mean, you can't join with voice, but you can drop your comment there, and you'll be able to get through to let everyone know what you think about what's going on. But I'm not liking what's going on in this country. We are joking around as a people. We cannot have a government that is eating its own children. If you mess up education, you are an enemy of the country. You are an enemy. You are a security issue. You are an enemy of the future. You must not be mentioned anywhere people are talking, because you cannot be killing education and still be, having your senses working properly. It's not possible. And so we need to have this serious conversation. Where is the money going? That is what we need to answer. Where is the money going? Because you cannot stop Kazi Mtaani, you stop Linda Mama, you stop insurance for students. There was an insurance for students being taken care of while in school, and it was taking care of all the students in school. That was also withdrawn. Where did this money go to? Tell me, where is this money? Where is it going to? Let's talk. And please join from wherever you are. The link to use to get in the studio is this one. Okay? Na watu leo wanaogopa kuingia studio, sijui kuna nini. Mmenyeshewa ama mmeonywa? Naomba mwingie studio, alafu hii ndio link ya kufuatilia kipindi. Naomba tu tukasambaze hii ili kila moja amakinike. In the meantime, let's hear what Kenyans are saying about what is going on. In my opinion, ni kubaya.
President William Ruto has put on notice state corporations that continue making losses. The president, who was addressing parastatal heads and CEOs at State House Nairobi, said some of these parastatals will be closed down and further directed a 30% budget cut for all of them. Jeff Kirui with the details.
As President William Ruto gears for his second budget in office, his eyes are set on state corporations running on taxpayers' money and making losses.
We will shut them down. We will get the employees to go and work somewhere else. And we just stop making the losses. At least we will stop making the losses. And I want some of those institutions to volunteer. Because if you don't volunteer, some of them should tell us, hii institution yetu tafadhali fungeni, sisi tutafutie kazi mahali ingine, tuende tufanye, alafu ndio Wakenya wawache kupoteza pesa zao.
We need state corporations that are drained to the exchequer. They bring nothing. They just take away what we need for our roads, what we need for our water, what we need for electricity connection. I know some of you would be uncomfortable with that conversation. But that conversation somehow must take place.
Among the drastic measures President Ruto's administration is considering taking include budget cuts for parastatals during the 2024-2025 financial year. The move will see some of the institutions lose up to 30% of their allocations.
So we must cut down on our expenditure. We must rationalize. We must make it much more efficient. We must deal firmly and decisively with pilferage and wastage and theft and the so evident corruption.
The directive by President Ruto coming just months after Kenya's finance ministry offered 11 companies up for sale in what the government said is geared towards efforts for fiscal consolidation and spurring economic development. Among the state corporations that find themselves on the chopping board include KICC, New Kenya Cooperative Creameries KCC, Kenya Literature Bureau, National Oil Corporation, Kenya Seed Company Limited, Kenya Pipeline Company, among others. President Ruto reiterated his commitment of having an economic turnaround by implementing the agenda that informed his election to office.
And I did not become president so that I fill up the position or earn the salary. No, that's not why I'm president. We must change our country. We must change our country.
For some time now, the issue of privatization and sale of some parastatals has been a headache, with the government appearing to shift positions on the issue after Kenyans questioned the plan. Jeff Kirui, KTN News.
As the doctors
You get it from the horse's mouth. He wants to sell parastatals because they are making losses. His government is making losses and he wants to save it by all means. What's going on? If the criteria is when you make losses, you do what? You close. Then let's begin by closing the government, because they have already made losses. They were to pay 11,000 to students. They only pay 300 and 3,800. Let's use the same standard, okay? He was to pay Linda Mama. He has failed. He was to pay, what is it called? Kazim Tahani. He failed. So he's also making losses. So let him pack and go fast as an example. Then the other parastatals can follow. The main parastatal is State House, okay? State House is spending more than all county government. Hiyo ulisikia wapi? State House spending more than 47 counties. And then you're telling us that you're cutting down on expenses. Ninyi mnaambia kwa sababu mimi mambo mengine huwa inanichukiza tu kwa sababu I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay, when you close a parastatal because it's making losses, okay? So how does that help? Okay? Okay, for example, let's say shule inaangusha wanafunzi, okay? Wanafunzi hawapiti mtihani. Then ufunge hiyo shule. Will you have helped the students? Will you have helped the teachers? What economic sense does William Ruto have? If a parastatal is not making profit, it's not making money, it needs to be revamped. It needs to check the administration. Why is the problem? Is it the CEO? Is it the staff members? What is this parastatal involved in? Has its market closed? I mean, why should William Ruto be opting to close things because they are not making profit when his government is not making profit and he's preserving it using his life and death? Mnaambia nini? Mimi nataka kusikia maoni yenu. Kama bado uko hapo nataka kusikia. Lakini Ruto akozi kunishangaza kabisa. It's terrible. It's terrible. His reasoning alone is so, what do I call it? I think primitive, to be kind, okay? It's primitive because how do you want to change the country by closing parastatals? You want to change the country by closing parastatals. You change the country by propelling the parastatals that were making loss, like Uhuru Kenyatta. When Uhuru Kenyatta got into office, Kenya Meat Commission was making losses, okay? He looked at the Kenya Meat Commission and said, this ought not to be the case. We must turn around things around Kenya Meat Commission. What did he do? He brought in the military. What happened? They turned around Kenya Meat Commission. What used to make losses now began to make profits. What used to make only, 10 million, began to make hundreds of millions in months. That is how leadership is done. Not the William Ruto akiangalia hivi anataka kufunga KICC, akiangalia hivi anataka kufunga pipeline, akiangalia hivi anataka kufunga Kenya Oil. This is not leadership. This is backwardness. And then every right-thinking Kenyan who still wants to believe that Kenya Kwanza administration is up to good in this country, I think is daydreaming. This must be stopped, and we must rise up in arms and stop it. We can't be led like this. Hapana. Mambo haendi hivi. Well, ningependa kusikia maoni yako. Hebu nione kwa comments huku. Inaonekana leo watu they are shying off the studio, but we will soon be calling it a day if nobody comes to join into this discussion. But I think we'll exhaust whatever that needs to be done before that happens. Okay, Head says, if Kenyans are patriotic, the teachers and all schools should boycott school. Kids stay home. Okay, mambo kama hayo. Halima Hassan anasema, hi there, assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam, what? Hey, wewe umenifundisha hii ni Kiarabu, utanifundisha baadaye, asante lakini sitaki kuharibu. I'm afraid of pronouncing a foreign language. I may just mispronounce it, so understand me. It's not that I don't want to read out. I don't want to say something that it does not mean, or it means something else. That is me. I always avoid, and probably that's why siongange lugha nyingi kwa sababu naogopa Sitaki sababu katika lugha tofauti mambo mengine, majina mengine umaanisha vingine, just a different, they spell the same but they mean different when they are pronounced in different tones. So that's one way that I'm afraid na the Kenya translator labda nitaenda shule yake anisaidie, lakini kwangu mimi sai naogopa. Okay, the whole country should protest. Thank you very much. That is Auset. He says the whole country should protest. I agree with you. That will cause that thug or Lenduta to resign. Haya, bas. Charles Green anasema we are here. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, Halima anasema Gachagua is just trying to please Mount Kenya people using Honorable Uhuru. We should not believe his apologies. Aya, mambo ndio kayo. Aya, nani huyu anasema Gachagua should be forgiven on condition he resigns. Thank you. Very good condition. He should be forgiven on condition he does what? He resigns. Good. Gachagua should be in prison for fraud. Thank you. All teachers, children, stay home, farmers demonstrate, construction workers, and KOTU should protest. Yes, hii kwe kabisa kabisa. Yani wholesale protest. Hii isikwe maandamano ya kawaida ati watu wachache ndio wanatoka. Wote tunaumia kwa sababu ya ushuru, tunaumia kwa sababu ya uongozi mbaya, masomo hayaendi, healthcare haiendi, agriculture ndio hiyo imeingiwa na fertilizer fake. Lazima tutoke wote, tukataze Zakayo na timu yake, hawawezi kutawala kwa lazima. Ni lazima tusimame. Na hiyo ndio nahimiza kila Mkenya mahala pote ulipo. Usikubali kubebwa ujinga na usikubali kufuata serikali ambayo si serikali. Hii sio serikali, hii inaonekana ni kongamano ya wezi ambao wameamua kuibia Wakenya wazi wazi. Where is the money going to? I keep asking that question. Nataka mnijibu. Mato sijui mko wapi leo. Msimamo siwaoni. Yani pesa huenda wapi? Zimeenda wapi? Zile pesa za inaitwa nini? Expressway zimeenda wapi? Zile pesa zilikuwa za Linda Mama zimeenda wapi? Zile pesa zilikuwa za wazee zimeenda wapi? Zile pesa zilikuwa zikitumika kwa kazi kwa mtaa zimeenda wapi? Mbona Ruto ashindwe kulipia wanafunzi hela za shule, ashindwe kuhakikisha kwamba healthcare inatekelezwa? Anakimbia saa hii, anasema anataka kubadilisha NHF sijui kwe SHF, something like that. Now, why should you change wherever an insurance fund, health fund, when you can't sustain the existing one? Wao watakubadilisha ulete mpya, na hii ya kale imekushinda. Sasa kama ya kale imekushinda, mpya ndio utasimamia. Karibuni. Ose na Juma wanasema wale wanaopiga makofi ndio wajinga. They are fools. I agree, because kama mtu anadanganya, ambiwa anadanganya. Kama mtu anasema kitu ambacho hakifai, usipige makofi. Muonyeshe kwa sura kama umekasirika. Na hii masuala ya William Ruto kubeba watu ujinga ikomeshwe. We need to get our country back, and to get our country back, we have to have a nerve to say no to the ills that are taking place in this country. We cannot continue like this. Things cannot go on like this. This cannot be business as usual. We must have a country that can be relied upon, a country that can be counted upon, a country that takes care of its people. This cannot go on. Everybody must just wake up and say no to this madness. Let's not relent. Let's not play games. What's going on is unacceptable. Not in the 21st century. Not after 60 years of independence. At serikali imeshindwa kulipa masomo, imeshindwa kulipia healthcare, imeshindwa kudhibiti agriculture, mpaka mbolea isiyofaa ndio inauzwa ikitetewa na CS wa agriculture. Yani hii ni nini? No, this should not be the case at all. So let's wake up and stop the evil. Let's wake up and stop the ills that are taking place in this country. It is our responsibility to ensure that that takes place. Well, as we continue with the conversation, we call upon you, please let's be on the forefront of securing the future of this country by refusing to be carried and, of course, taken for fools, because what's going on here is no longer a joke. It's no longer a joke, and we should not take it as if it's a joke. I mean, where lives are involved, we should not take it just, the way we are doing it. And then I want to address the attitude of Kenyans. Kenyans, we are laid back too much. We are tolerant too much. We are too understanding. That's why Ruto is playing with our minds like this. That's why he's, turning us like chapati. Anatupindua hivi, akitupindua hivi, akitupindua hivi, akitupindua hivi. Wakenya lazima tusimame seme hapana. Sisi tunajua uongozi mzuri. Tunajua uongozi mbaya. Tumekuwa na Jomo Kenyatta. Tumekuwa na Moi. Tumekuwa na Kibaki. Tumekuwa na Uhuru Kenyatta. Ruto sio rais wa kwanza. So wakati Ruto anatupeleka pasipo, si tunajua. Si inaonekana wazi kama mtu anasaidia nchi ama anapora nchi. Kama hili swala la nini, kuna video natafuta ya Okio Mtata, anapeleka hilo swala tena la affordable housing kotini. Okay? Swala la affordable housing ni njia ya kuiba mashamba. Sio njia ya kutengenezea Wakenya nyumba, ni kuiba mashamba. Kwa nini? Nyumba zitajengwaje kwa shamba la umma? Okay? Zikitumia pesa ya umma. Alafu hizo nyumba ziuzwe. Swali ni nani anayeuza hizo nyumba? Okay. Zikiuzwa, pesa nani anapokea? Na wewe ukinunua nyumba ambayo imejengwa kwa shamba ama plot ya umma. Wakati zinakujiwa wewe utasemaje? Because serikali ya Ruto haitakuwa mamlakani milele. So public land using public funds. You build on public land using public wherever funds, and then you want to sell those houses to private occupiers. Now that's where the mess is. Private occupiers itakuwaje eti wewe ni private, inaitwaje, kuna wale watu wana disturb TikTokers. I can't receive calls. Those of you are trying to call, I don't know who is that. Don't call. I am on TikTok live, and our TikTok family, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for the likes. Over 1,000 likes on TikTok. Thank you so much. Let me see the roses now. And then, of course, keep tapping the screen and participating fully. Well, as we are discussing, the issue of affordable housing is all questionable, okay? You use public money, you build on public land, and you want to sell the houses to private occupiers. How is that possible? Is it now a government project? If it's a government project, where is it structured in the law? Which part of the law supports it? Is it parliament? Has it been passed in parliament that this is an act of parliament? We are embarking on a mission called affordable housing, and these houses are going to be built on public land using public money, but after a period of time, they will translate to be private properties. Is there a law in that effect? Kabla tuanze kukimbia tunaenda kununua affordable house. Hakuna affordable house. Hii ni utapeli, yani land grabbing on this is land grabbing. Okay, hakuna kitu ingine. na usijiingize hapo, kwa sababu utapoteza pesa yako na hakuna mtu utalilia. So before you join anything, please check it out. No government does what Ruto is doing with this administration. No government. We have seen Jomo Kenyatta government, we have seen Moi government, Kibaki government, Uhuru Kenyatta government. The way Ruto is operating, it has never been before. And we have never seen a government operate like that one of William Ruto, where one man is everything, and he goes to draft the law and brings it to parliament. Parliament rubber stamps the law, and the law, I mean, no, things don't work that way. So karibu kila moja, naomba tafadhali, wale ambao mnaingia studio mnachelewa. Okay, let me just have this as we go further. I hope this is
The Standing Committee on Health in the Senate paid a courtesy call to Nairobi Funeral Home, previously known as the City Mortuary. What they found was nothing short of shocking.
Facilities such as this, my brother, must always have power supply. You cannot say that the head is not working. My brother, from 2018, generated 12 million. From 12 million.
Ni vile tunapeleka lakini hatishughulikiwi. Senata wewe kuja kama kamati yetu ama kamati ya kaunti ya Senate. Haikuji kwa sababu wanakuja kuwinda atukutafuta wewe ama kutafuta seneta. Hapana. Tunakuja kwa sababu raia wamesema kuna shida.
With no electricity and no working generator on site, what awaited them was a stench that even some senators could not bear. The buckets you see above are what holds the chemicals used for embalming. On a standard day, you would find dead bodies lying here. And the chemical store.
Unaona mtoni hiyo. Hiyo mtoni ni kwa hizi unakibiaga huko mtoni. Wanaiba vitu ya stock wanakipia hiyo mtoni. Hapa moja nimefanya miaka 21 years. Iko karata inachezwa hapa ndani mbaya.
Kitu ambacho tunaomba ni kazi. Si kazi ni.
Wale hata ni Mungu na madharau.
Bila mshahara, bila chochote.
Amlipwi?
Hakuna chochote.
County government. So what does it say on your contract? How much are you supposed to be paid?
No, only 3 months. Then we go again.
Unpaid attachment. It's unpaid attachment. Yes. Kwa nini?
Itatoa wapi?
Si uko na pesa?
Ya bodi.
Si uko na pesa ya FIF.
Hawezi kubai.
We've witnessed a situation that I would not say is very good. It needs to be revisited, and we are asking the county government of Nairobi to begin to work on it. One, there is a generator there that has not been working since 2018. And unfortunately today on our visit, we had a blackout that has lasted the great amount of the day, and that affects the mortuary operations. We want to urge the county government of Nairobi, and I think the governor and his team and the ARFC and the Committee for Health to consider in their supplementary budget to urgently provide a generator for the Nairobi funeral home. We've also noted the issue of shortage of staff in that facility. I know it is a challenge, it is a budgetary allocation, but considering the population that funeral home serves and the public, the majority of the public that uses that facility in Nairobi, then there is need for it to be given priority in terms of equipping and even in terms of staff.
Mambo ni kama hayo. City Mortuary kubaya. Ati stima ilikatwa. Generator haifanyi. I don't know. Hey God. I don't know, you Kenyans, just help me, because do we still have a country? I mean, did you hear Sakaja threatening to sack doctors on Sunday? Sakaja. Oh, City Mortuary is under the county government, for your information. It's in fact, it's a facility for the county government. City Mortuary. Ati haina stima, haina generator. Aye? You people, what's going on in this country? And we are still breathing in and out. No. No. Haiwezekani. This ought not to be the case. I mean, hii ulisikia wapi? Tena City Mortuary. I mean, the distance of City Mortuary to City Hall. Is it 5 minutes drive? Or 10? Or 15? So, hakuna stima. Hakuna generator. Na mili bado zinaingizwa. Wafanyikazi huko wajalipwa. Hapana. Nairobians, is this what you bargained for? Voting for Dimples. Mlisema Dimples. Oh, God have mercy on me. Not this one. Oh, no. Hapana. Msikubali ujinga. This cannot be. Not at this time. Come on. Well, nataka maoni yako. Asante kwa wale ambao mnasikiliza, mnafuatilia. Stima na generator. Maiti wanafanyia nini? Asil tu TV anauliza. Asil tu TV inaonekana wewe ndio think tank ya Sakaja na Sakayo. Maiti hawahitaji stima, hawahitaji generator. Wanatumia nini? Mungu saidia Kenya. Mungu tafadhali saidia Kenya, usituache. Ina nikumbusha ile ombi ambalo yule kijana aliomba kuhusu baba. I think this is serious. Tumeachwa pabaya. Hey, no. Hapana. Nimekuwa hapa miaka kadhaa lakini sijasikia hii. Mnisaidie. Msiseme ati naonea serikali ya Sakaja. Lakini hapa hapana. We take a short break and we'll be back shortly. Please tuendelee kukaribishana. Naambia watu wa Facebook watupati. Ebu refresh your browser, utatupata tu. Kule hatupatikani ni Sound Candy Talk. Tuko na shida huko na YouTube. Kwa hivyo YouTube tunapatikana kwa Sound Candy Talk live. You should add live at the end. You'll be able to get us. Sound Candy Talk live. You'll be able to get us on YouTube. And then of course ukitupata sambaza hiyo link kwa yeyote yule ambaye anatufuata. Nataka kuangalia watu wa Facebook mbona wanateta. Ndio wale Adriano ndio alikuwa ananipigia simu kuuliza ni kipi kinachoendelea, kwa sababu hapa okay, watu wa Facebook wameongezeka 5 tu, na Facebook ndio huwa inaongoza. So tafadhali makinikeni. Facebook Sound Candy Talk page is live and we have 5 people viewing. X we have 15 people viewing, and on YouTube we have 42 people. So tujitahidi tafadhali kukaribishana, makinika, usisalie nyuma kwa mambo haya yanayoendelea. Asante.
Watch, share, like, subscribe.
Are you looking for video live streaming services? You want your church services to be on air? You do not know where to market your goods and services? At Sound Candy Talk, we deliver the best live stream services for your events, product and service launches, conferences, weddings, and lives. Reach on us today. We provide live UHD broadcasting for church services, talk shows and podcasts, weddings, live bands, products and services launches, webinars and trainings, Zoom meetings, conferences, seminars, exhibitions, and virtual concerts. We help your event, trainings, shows, and so more to the world through internet broadcasting in UHD. We provide from 1 to several camera setups and integrate graphics to live in your live streams. For more information, contact us through +2547 18454585 or email at soundcandytalk@gmail.com. Sound Candy Talk, making sense of our politics, is seeing live for the mouth.
Alright, barabara. Asante sana tunakuchukulia za picha retu design kama ikiwa ni kwenye route za introduction. Tunakuja tunapata jamaa wetu anatamba design kama hii, na jamaa wetu amejaa tena vizuri zaidi. Jamaa akishika dotono, nakwambia dotono nani? Dotono nani? Makusha. Atakuona wa design au jaiona. Gigi. Musumari na hinda wekelewa design. Na kuambia hii teke nani inajulikana kama springa dira. Jamaa aliwekelewa springa dira. Aliwekelewa nani? Alitoa minyo yote. Unaona? 1 2 3 kuku dancer, break dancer, yote analeta. Unaona? Maredadi. Kiki. Jao wengine wanakuja na chopa. Makusha. Wanakuja na chopa design kama hii. Inda. Wewe. Jamaa wetu is a high trained commando. Huyu aliwekelewa miguu. Akaanza kuimba. Kalila ya Yesu alitenda. Ikiwa ni kwenye route za introduction, wana relenza presentation, wana kuretea. Ikiwa ni kwenye komando, pati tu.
Watch, share, like, subscribe.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're glad you're watching. Thank you so much for being here. We trust all is well wherever you are. Karibu kwa show makinika katika kualika mtu, alafu changia kwa njia moja au nyingine kwa mambo mengi tu ambayo yanaendelea. Hiyo ndio CBC ikiwa katika action. I tell you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's keep going. Tunazungumza masuala mengi tu, lakini cha muhimu hapa ni wabunge ambao wameamua basi turejelee maandamano, kwa sababu hii serikali inavyokwenda sivyo, na lazima irudiwe. Isiporudiwa basi kutakuwa na maangamizi mengi tu. Naomba tafadhali tumakinike katika kutekeleza wajibu wetu kama Wakenya wazalendo. The performance of this government is so bad, and like I said, the aspect of bandits is not something to be ignored anymore, and it's biting so deeply that there is this chief, he has lost it completely because of the situation. Let's just hear him.
Ni aibu sana chief aombe na alikuwa mtumishi wa serikali. It is only 2 months. I cannot develop myself. Na mbusi yangu iko pale Seretion na Kasiokon. I don't know serikali watachukua na managari. Hawa wamesema kwanza ukitaka kumaliza location toboa chief. That is why tunangolewa sasa. Yatia mbusi yake imeenda, watoto aliuliwa, sasa yeye amepaki peke yake na mama na nini. Na yule ya Chemoe ya Tuluk mbusi imeenda. Na hata saa hii mimi naomba nataka kwenda kupumzika, because I was supposed to be in terminal leave. Na sasa mimi naona bado nakaswa kuongezwa stress. Na sitaki kukupa mimi mwenyewe. Hii mwezi 2 ni ile serikali wanipatia ni starehe. Nikingojea kwa ndo mali ya serikali. So I can borrow that one and nitaenda. Sitaki tena kuitwa. Watoto wangu hawako nyumbani, mimi mwenyewe nachipikia, nalala peke yangu na kuku. Mpaka asubuhi, hata asubuhi wakati nakuja lazima nilishe ile njao ya mbuzi imebaki 10. Ile watu kula nyasi. So serikali naamini hii kitu haiwezi shinda serikali. Thank you.
Huyo ni chief. Yeye anasema hataki stress, na serikali inashinikiza yeye akae kwa ofisi wakati muda wake umeisha. Anataka kwenda retire, lakini anashinikizwa kukaa kwa ofisi, na kukaa kwa ofisi bandits wanasema ukitaka kushika location anza na chief. Hataki kufa. Na ningependa uone vile naongea waziwazi na naongea mbele ya umati. Now that's how disgruntled the government officials are with the Ruto administration. That simply means that I don't think there is any serious groundwork going on in terms of the handling of the bandit situation. If the chief is talking like this, and there's the other clip where the members of parliament and the other leaders who are UDA leaders who have given up on the government. Kuna mmoja anasema hakuna chochote ambacho hajaambia Ruto. Amekuwa State House mara nyingi akitoa hayo masuala yote, lakini anasema hakuna lolote ambalo Ruto na serikali yake wanafanya. Kwa hivyo katika kile kinachoendelea ni wazi kwamba Ruto anafanya nini? Anasababisha kudorora kwa usalama kwa sehemu nyingi ya nchi hii. Kile ambacho sielewi ni nini faida ya Ruto kukaa wakati mambo yanaharibika. How does he profit in things falling apart? That's what I don't get it. That's what I don't get, because they say a stitch in time saves 9. Such situations need to be arrested in time. Is it that Ruto is a beneficiary of the insecurity in Baringo and the environs, or what? Why can't he arrest the situation? Why should the chief be crying to the public That's what we need to get to. I mean, chief huyu analia. Okay, ataki kukufa. Anaishi peke yake, watoto hawapo. Ajipikia mwenyewe. Maisha yake yako hatarini. Na anaambia umati kwa sababu ameonywa. So, ni lini uliona chief yeyote akiongea hivyo katika serikali ya Moi? Does Ruto understand the implication of this? You people help me. Oh my God. It is time we all woke up and taught William Ruto what it means to be a national leader. What he's doing is running down this country. This country will soon become uncontrollable, will be worse than Haiti if this is allowed to continue. Wacha hii anasema anakimbia na kalamu kwenda kusaini makaratasi ati askari wetu waende Haiti. Watahitajika hapa hivi karibuni kama hii ndio itaendelea. Lini uliona chief akililia wananchi hivi? And is the one supposed to be in charge of security? No. So Kenyans, let's wake up. Let's wake up. Let's wake up. Tuache mchezo. In your own little way, please make a difference in your space. Ukwe diaspora, ukwe nyumbani. Let's take charge. Let's take charge. Hii sio wakati wa kukaa kitako na kungojea mambo. Hakuna cha kungojea hapa. Mimi sioni serikali hapa ambayo itatatua chochote. Serikali imeshindwa na masomo, imeshindwa na healthcare, imeshindwa na linda mama, imeshindwa na kazi mtaani. Ni serikali ambayo itaweza usalama. Umesikiza vile Linduri ameongea? Anasema mbolea, hakuna mbolea fake. Yaani yeye anaona kila Mkenya ndio amekuwa wazimu, yeye peke yake ndio ako salama. Mbolea zinatoka kwa stores za serikali zikiuziwa wa Kenya. Mbolea ni fake. Yeye anasema hakuna mbolea, hata anatafuta mkulima atakayemwambia mbolea aliyonunua ni fake. Anataka kuona mbolea ile wanasema ni fake. Are we serious? Hey. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is it. We don't have a government. Let's accept it. We don't have a... Well, tuambia accept and move on. Let's accept and move on. There is no government here. Najua wengi mtasema, oh, hii ni incitement. You're inciting the public. There is no inciting the public. We don't have a government. If we had a government, we'll have a solution to these things. At bandits wamewashinda. Agriculture imewashinda. Healthcare imewashinda. Masomo kumake exam ya KCP peke yake imewashinda. Ni serikali aina gani hii? No. Huwa tunafundisha katika masuala ya church leadership. Na tunasema kuna watu ambao hawezi kusaidiwa. People you can never help, okay? The people you can never help. Number one is somebody who does not accept that he has a problem, okay? The person who doesn't accept that he has a problem is a person who cannot be helped, because for us to begin to treat you, we must diagnose your sickness. And if you say you are not sick, then we will not subject you to diagnosis, and then we can't begin to treat you. Hii serikali imesema haioni makosa, haijakosea kokote. It has not seen any problem. It has no problem. That is why problems are following it. Such a person can never be helped. The second person that cannot be helped is one who does not accept scriptural solution to his problem. Okay? Anataka solution yake ikuje vingine visivyo kuwa vile Mungu amesema liwe. If you don't accept scriptural solution to your problem, you can never be solved. You can never be helped. And so what we are dealing with here is a problematic government that doesn't accept that it has a problem, and therefore it keeps running from crisis to crisis. And this is serious. People cannot continue like... We can't continue in a country like this. Masomo yameshindikana. Afya imeshindikana. agriculture ndio hiyo imeshindikana. Sasa ni nini serikali inafanya? Ati na kujengea nyumba, affordable housing. Which affordable housing? Where? Who needs houses? Hawa watu wa Baringo wanahitaji nyumba wakati wanachinjwa kama mbuzi. They need affordable housing. Let's call William Ruto to order or get rid of him. Better still, because he is sioni ikienda kokote. Okay, let me bring in the other video, and then from there we can chat the way forward. It's 9 minutes after 1 a.m. We started the show a bit late, but I think I don't have people coming to the screen, so itabidi tu mimi nichambue, nikimaliza kuchambua na fungasha, lakini ningependa kuwakumbusha, let's finish with this video first and then I'll talk to us.
Ni kwamba idadi ya watu waliofariki kufuatia mafuriko yaliyoshuhudiwa hapa jijini Nairobi Jumapili usiku imefikia watu 7 baada ya miili mitatu zaidi kupatikana. Hanajiri huku shughuli ya kutafuta mwili wa afisa wa polisi aliyefariki katika eneo la Kamukunji ikiendelea. Baadhi ya waathiriwa wa mafuriko hayo wameeleza masikitiko yao, huku wale wanaoishi maeneo yaliyoathirika wakiwa kwenye harakati za kuhama, kama anavyoeleza mwanahabari wetu Gatete Njoroge.
Siku ya pili baada ya mafuriko kushuhudiwa jijini Nairobi, Masipol yuko mbioni kuhakikisha mavazi yaliyochafuliwa baada ya mafuriko hayo yameoshwa na kung'ara. Hapo jana hatungeweza kufika hapa kwani maji yalikuwa yamejaa kila pahali. Masi anatueleza kuwa jirani alihama na kuacha baadhi ya vitu vyake baada ya maji kujaa nyumbani kwake. Akiathirika kwa mara ya 3 sasa, anasema matukio haya yamempa mawazo ya kutafuta mahala mbadala pa kuishi.
Hiyo ni lazima watu waame juu huwezi athiriwa vitu hivyo mara 2 3. Lazima uame utafuta mahali pengine pa kuishi. Kama jana mimi nilibeba vitu zangu mingi, mitungi, vitu zenye za maana mingi, nikapeleka ushago.
Samuel Migwi ni mkazi mwingine ambaye kwa mara ya 7 amestahimili hasara ya mafuriko. Akiwa mfanyabiashara wa kuuza vifaa vya nyumbani, anasema amepata hasara maradufu kwani maji yaliharibu vifaa vya nyumba, bidhaa anazouza na zile anazowawekea wafanyabiashara wenzake.
Imesidi sasa, mitaro imefugikana sana, kwa maana kama hiyo miaka ingine hii nyumba ilikuwa inaigiaga maji, lakini mwanzo wa hii mwaka maji imeanza kuingia sana. Kila mahali natokea baada hii. Hata kuna wakati nilikuwa na kuku hapa, nilikuwa nimefuga kuku, zote zilikuva na maji siku moja.
Na huko sio Kimau, hali ni kama hii mtaani Riverside Court. Mmiliki wa jengo hili amesalia kukadiria hasara ya zaidi ya shilingi milioni 3 kufuatia mafuriko yaliyoshuhudiwa. Ua uliojengwa kuzunguka mjengo ukiangushwa na mafuriko. Sababu kuu ya hasara hii ikiwa ni ua ulioko ndani ya mto Sabaki uliowekwa na mwekezaji mmoja na ambao unazuia maji ya mto.
Ilikuja ikagonga ukuta yetu na ikaingia kwa foundation wall, our perimeter wall ka collapse na ikatufanyia hata kazi mpaka isimame, na the entire area was flooded kama venye mmeona picha, na pia maji kutoka kwa our project iliingia pia to the surrounding and neighborhoods, nika affect watu wengi sana.
Maafisa kutoka shirika la Warma waliofika eneo hilo wameagiza kuondolewa kwa upande wa ua unaozuia mto kama njia moja ya kukabiliana na uharibifu na maafa zaidi. Haya yanajiri huku idadi ya waliofariki ikifikia watu 7 baada ya miili 3 zaidi kupatikana. Wakiwa wameathirika sio mara ya kwanza, ya pili au ya 3. Baadhi ya wakazi wa eneo hili la Mukuru kwa Njenga wanasema kuwa sasa watalazimika kuhama iwapo serikali ya kaunti haitachukua hatua ya kuhakikisha kuwa mitaro hii imeshughulikiwa. Gatete Njoroge, runinga ya Citizen, kaunti ya Nairobi.
Okay, there you go again. Dimples at work, threatening to sack doctors when his papers are still questionable. Sitazungumzia kuhusu masuala ya makaratasi, lakini ni seme tu serikali ya Nairobi County, kwangu mimi kile kinachofanyika sasa hivi na masuala ya mafuriko na masuala ya kutofanya nini, dhibiti masuala ya afya, hiyo story ya mortuary inatokana na ujinga. Okay, ujinga, na tunaita nini, mwiba wa kujidunga. Waswahili wanasema mwiba wa kujidunga hauna pole. Kuna kitu ambacho mimi naamini, ambacho nimezungumzia hapa mara nyingi tu, kwamba serikali ya Mwai Kibaki ilirithi uongozi wa Moi. Okay? Na serikali ya Moi ilikuwa imefanya nini? Kwa sababu ya uongozi mbaya, due to mismanagement of resources and of course poor leadership, the economy was negative and things were not moving. Okay? So when Kibaki took over, the first thing, one thing that I call it the Kibaki wisdom. Okay, when he took office, he did not replace the people that were in office that had worked with Moi for a long time, that had experience in government management. For example, he retained Amos Wako as the Attorney General. And he retained key leaders in different places, including Parastatals, before he began to make changes. What is bedeviling Nairobi is what I call the Sonko madness. Okay? Sonko madness. Sonko gets in office, moves away everybody, brings in new people. I have held this opinion that if I was Sonko, after I get into office, I would gladly accept to be ceremonial governor, okay? And hire Kidero and Mweke, who had managed Nairobi. They had experimented, they finished the experiments, they had fixed the flood problem, they had fixed the road capitation and repair problem. They were having the city running smoothly, of course, except for the corruption of Matatu and all that. But as far as services and road maintenance and flood control, the Kidero administration had succeeded. After 3 years of experimenting, the last 2 years, we didn't have these flood issues. We didn't have all that. So getting into office, and I don't know my way around, it was important that he hires, or rather get somebody who knows the way around and be able to do what? Help the transition. But what did he do? He swept away everybody, brought in new people. The new people don't know what to do. So the problems that had been solved by Kidero returned. Comes in Sonko, Sonko leaves, NMS takes over, NMS experiments, just like Kidero and Mweke did. Then lands on the solution, okay? They work out things, the road maintenance, the floods control, the slum boreholes, the hospitals, and all that. The management begins to take shape, and Nairobi is under control again. Dimples come inside, takes office. Instead of him taking notes and lessons from the general and the NMS, he say NMS is stopping him from being governor, chases them away. Look now what we have. 7 lives lost in floods, common floods. When he's threatening to do what? He's threatening to sack doctors that they have gone on strike. So we will sack him, okay? We will sack him because these lives that have been lost unnecessarily should be required on his head. So in my opinion, what Nairobi is suffering now is uncalled for completely. Because the rains are not a surprise. The drainage being closed, okay? This was part of what Kazi Mtaani was doing. This was part of what Kazi Mtaani was doing. The young people were being paid 500 shillings every day to unlock the drainage. So the drainages are closed, Nairobi is flooding, and we have a governor who is threatening doctors for going on strike. I don't have kind words for him. It is uncalled for. Those lives are lost unnecessarily, and it's all because of poor leadership. And anybody considering to continue voting for Dimples, no problem. You can go ahead. But in my opinion, we need serious leadership. Serious leadership. People that are competent. People that know that the county is run. It's not sung for. It's not clapped for. It's not sycophants. 7 lives gone just like that. Because of the rains that were announced that are coming. He's busy writing, going to churches, talking about affordable housing. Which affordable housing? Now, affordable housing ndio itafungua mitaro. Haya, mtanichukia tu lakini hapa misioni kabisa kwa sababu this is annoying. Why should we be losing lives like that? So, see bandits, see floods, see mili kuoza kwa mochari. Hey, ati hakuna generator, hakuna stima. Na tuko Kenya. 60 years of independence. Kenya na nyinyi nitawapatia zawadi ya kuwa patient. This is no. Tusimame imara tuokoe nchi yetu. Kwa vyovyote vile, use your space. Let's shout out this government. We don't have a government. These people are thieves. They are robbing us day and night. I'm happy Julia is here. How are you, mwalimu?
I'm good, Bernard. Sijui kama unanisikia.
Unasikika, karibu.
Asante, niko kwa barabara saa, ninaweza poteza network anytime.
Aya, we sema ya kwako mbio basi.
Sasa, okay, sijui kama mmeongelea, sijui kama umeona hao MPs wa Mount Kenya region from nowhere saying that they'll call protest. Have you seen that?
No, they are not the Mount Kenyans. They are is a young tech group. Ile nimeona ya Babu Owino and team, but ile ile imenikasirisha ni your Mount Kenya MPs.
Yes.
Kuna mama mmoja alisema hawezi tarajia wabunge wasome kila kitu na wajue kila
kitu.
Yaani hiyo iliniuma.
I saw that stupid woman. That was so annoying, Bernard. Na Wamuchomba amesema nini?
Wamuchomba amesema hayuko Azimio, lakini yeye anasimama na watu ambao wanasema wanasikiliza ground na wanataka mambo ya ground ile wananchi wanataka. So anafanya kazi pamoja na kina Babu Owino kama vijana na wataongoza maandamano sehemu zote ili ukombozi wa 4 ufanyike wa kiuchumi.
Na nimeona MP mwingine akilalamika, sijui ni wapi, huyu ni Mkikuyu, because I could hear the accent. Ati employers, investors wametoroka Kenya. I'm like, these are hypocrites, Bernard. What was he expecting? See, they voted the financial bill. What were they expecting? My take is these are such hypocrites. Then, I mean, wiki nimeona drama, Bernard. Nimeona Gachagua ati akiapologize kwa Mama Ngina. Did you see that?
Yes, and wewe ndio unasikia Kikuyu vizuri. Aliomba msamaha ama aliongea?
Ati sijui ni translator aje, alisema ati mimi I'm very apologetic, ningeuliza mama atusamehe ile maneno tulisema wakati ya siasa, tusema maneno baya sana na tusiwahi fanya maneno kama hiyo, tulijiaibisha tukatukana huyo mama tukamkosea heshima, tunamuomba atusamehe. I'm like, si Kuria alisema ataenda kukojoa kwa Mama Ngina, hata sina kufanya hiyo ingine. Didn't Kuria say that, Bernard?
Yes.
And then didn't Gachagua and Kuria organize the invasion of the Northlands?
They did.
Nani hajui hiyo ni Gachagua na Kuria walipanga hiyo? Nani hajui Kenya? Hii Kenya. Bernard, I'll be very ashamed if I see Uhuru and Gachagua. Hiyo ndio itakuwa mwisho yangu ya siasa, nakwambia.
I don't think so. It's not that easy. Uhuru is not he's forgiving, but he's not desperate for relationships.
Mimi nikiona Uhuru na Gachagua and then he said that ati mimi kama kiongozi wa Mount Kenya gani? He is whose leader? Nani amemdanganya ni kiongozi wa Mount Kenya? Ati mimi kama kiongozi wa Mount Kenya, mimi sitaki tugawane tena, nataka tukae kama tumeungana. Who is unite? He is uniting who? I'm just wondering. So Bernard, I'm very disappointed with those MPs, and I don't know why they claim to be realizing that kwamba waliuza wa Kenya, especially those ones from Mount Kenya region. Babu Owino team, yes. Na Wamuchomba peke yake ndiye kona haki ya kufungua mdomo yake. All those others hypocrites, and I think the Mount Kenya people should stone them. Kama they should stone them like thieves, the way people stone thieves, lynch thieves. So that's what I wanted to say, Bernard. Nimesikia unafunga show na maneno ya floods. I don't know what's going to happen to Kenya, Bernard. Kwani polisi alikirwa na crocodile hapajapatikana?
Unajua ukibebwa na Nairobi River inaenda kwa Nairobi Dam, and then umebebwa na floods. So, floods asinanga direction. So anaweza kuwa anatafuta kwa mtoni na amejificha kwa kichaka fulani, because floods cause mass. So labda it's a complicated issue, but I don't know. Because alibebwa kutoka Machakos country bus. Aliokoa watu wawili. So alikuwa anaendea mwingine. I don't know what happened, so he got overwhelmed. But now I think you can imagine maji ile imetoka Mudhurwa. Unaona Mudhurwa is hilly, the market. Yes. So yote imemwagika ndani ya country bus. And then inateremka chini Kikomba, inajaa hiyo mto yote, enda through Kamkunji police station. So it is it's a serious thing. Nafikiria kuna is there an underground something there?
Yeah, niliona wakienda kuna pengine amewekwa kwa sewage. Si ndio?
Yes, because there must be some that retail market section as you go to Kikomba. There must be a system down there.
Niliona wakiingia kwa siwa, ni kama pengine alitupa kwa siwa system.
That's why I'm saying it's complicated, very complicated, because kama
aliingia
hiyo ni ngumu sana.
And then all that ni raia wanamtafuta, sijaona afisa wa serikali huko.
Ndio tunasema maneno ya kupigia kura dimples, okay? Watu ambao wajui mbele wala nyuma. Hii Sakaja is a mistake. Sakaja is a disappointment. Sakaja is supposed to be, I mean, can you now imagine that Sifuna is a senator, okay, and they're almost age mates with Sakaja, and look at the performance of Sifuna compared to Sakaja. Sakaja anakaa kama spanner boy, I mean.
Anakaa spanner boy.
Na ni kweli yeye ni spanner boy wa State House, anafanyia UDA. Afanyii kazi watu wa Nairobi.
Another thing bena nina Sakaja amekonda. Kwani UDA kuna kaugonjwa.
UDA ni stress. Unajua wewe ni mwalimu. Wakati unafundisha watoto alafu anashika kile unafundisha, unanona tu. Lakini kama ni mbumbumbu
amekonda. Leo nikasema na Sakaja alikuwa handsome. What has happened?
mmemalizia dimples na matatizo ya UDA.
Nikasema nini nakula watu wa UDA? Watu hata Gachagua amezeeka, amekuwa kama grandfather.
Laana. Mali ya wizi haifai. Kuna hiyo wimbo ilipigwa na mzee mwingine kutoka Kongo. Mali ya wizi haifai.
Haifai kweli. Alafu nani Bernard? Swali langu, wewe unafikiri ni Gachagua hiyo ujinga yake na msamaha, what does he intend to achieve?
No, Sakaja ni jikoni imeshika moto. Gachagua, sorry. Gachagua jikoni imeshika moto. Okay? Kwenye serikali umemwambia hapa hauna la kusema. Naambiwa kumekuwa na exchanges hot huko State House.
Huko ndani.
Yes. Wenye serikali wamemwambia hata shares hizo unazungumza haziko za kwako zilisha.
Hauna shares.
Hana shares kwa sababu kile kinakupatia shares ni kura zile unaleta. Okay? So anaulizwa kienda kwa uchaguzi saa hii. Mount Kenya nani atakufuata?
Hata saa hii wameona saa hii wakirudi Mount Kenya hakutakuwa na kura ya UDA. So they don't need Gachagua anymore.
That's what is eating Sakaja. I mean Gachagua.
Yeah.
Hawezi kuprove kwamba ataleta kura.
Yes.
Okay? Na tena hiyo pia inaonekana kwamba wamekubali kwamba hata zile kura walipata waliiba. Kama kama wakati huo tulikusaidia. Okay? Kura hazikutosha mpaka tukaiba. Okay? Sasa saa hivi vile tunajibiwa tukirudi huko utaleta ngapi? So kabla uanze kuleta hapa kelele at shares tuhakikishie 2027 tuletea ngapi? Yes.
Na wameona ukweli hata leta. Wameona hata leta. Sasa jamaa, does he think in his normal head? Does he think that watu wa people who support Uhuru can be on his side in his normal head?
Sorry mwalimu, tunakupoteza. Network yako imekatika.
Imekatika. Wacha
Your audio is breaking. Uko hapa lakini audio ina break. Refresh kwanza.
Okay, sasa wacha ni refresh kwanza, narudi in a few minutes.
Sawa. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Things are getting tougher for Gachagua, and that is why you see the desperation. Yule mtu aliswear hakuna handshake, hakuna kwenda kutafutana na nini. He swore serikali ya Uhuru ndio ilikuwa inamtesa, ilikuwa imfunge miaka 50 na hiyo mambo yote. Sasa yeye anatetemeka. Kwa nini anatetemeka? Anatetemeka kwa sababu amesomewa na wenye serikali. Wenye serikali wanawambia hapa una lako, na kama uko na lako tudhibitishie kwamba unalo, na kama huna basi nyamaza ukule kile ambacho kipo kwa sababu hauna kesho. That is why he's now begging for forgiveness, which he had sworn not to ask for or to need. And so he's not asking for forgiveness because he's repentant. He's asking for forgiveness because he is desperate. Desperate, kumeharibika. Ground imekuwa slippery. And so he thinks he can turn around things, but in my opinion, it is too late. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue the conversation, thank you so much for being part and parcel of this conversation on Sound Candy Talk. I want to remind us that we are end month and we are paying our bills. So far, I've received response from 3 people, okay? 3 of us. So I want us to speed up the aspect of paying for the bills of this particular channel. And then, of course, we encourage you, especially the diasporians, to enroll and join as members of Sound Candy Talk. And we request you to pick the option of the recurrent subscription of $5 per month. If you do that for us for the next 12 months, you will have helped us a great deal. I'll be sharing the link for membership shortly. But the rest who can't use that particular service, we encourage you, please send in your contribution so that we are able to meet our bills. And I want you also to remember that we have a deficit of almost 70%. So we are dealing with 170% requirement. So please, we want you to be more generous this month as you send in your contribution. I will be, glad that you have supported us. We'll keep here as long as we can and keep sharing our views and, of course, educating Kenyans. Thank you so much, those joining on YouTube. YouTube imeshika vizuri. Facebook sijui nini kinafanyika. Is on PayPal. Okay, there is a PayPal option. There's a PayPal option, but the subscription on YouTube is what nani Offset anauliza kama kuna ya PayPal. There is a PayPal option, but we will. It is available. We'll give it to you if you need to. But what you need here is this one for membership, where you subscribe on YouTube. YouTube takes charge of the subscription and will be able to deduct that $5 or $10 per month, and then it will submit the cash every 28 days. And so that works directly, is controlled by YouTube. We don't have control over it. The PayPal one is available at the top of let me, I'll get the link and share it. Those who will prefer to use PayPal, but let's work out on that subscription one. Well, teacher, you are back. Tulikuwa tunasema nini Kashagwa, shida ni kwa sababu jikoni imeshika moto.
Sasa nashangaa, so Bernard, so these people Gachagua na Ruto wanajua ukweli hawakupata kura za Mount Kenya na ukweli waliiba kura za baba Mount Kenya. Is that what they are trying to tell us, or what do you think?
Mwanasiasa sio mjinga. Okay? Na anajua vile mazingira ilivyo. Kukataliwa kwa William Ruto sio siri tena. Mpaka yeye mwenyewe anajua hatakikani. Okay? So lazima aweke mikakati mapema. Ndiposa umeona ile tuhuma kwamba wanataka kumfuta Muturi, alafu walete Grand Muller. Grand Muller asaidie kusafisha nini Supreme Court, ndio wafanye Chebukati Chief Justice, na ndio 2027 ikae vizuri.
Yes, kwa sababu Muturi naye kama amekasirika.
Okay, just a moment teacher, your audio haijapona, lakini ngoja kidogo tu ni respond kwa nani, kwa Tatu Juma. Now, Tatu Juma, una shida ya kujoin, unatumia simu ama desktop? Kama umeshindikana kutumia simu, tumia desktop. Desktop is better, it's faster, and it gives you better options than the phone. So if the phone app is the problem, you can copy that link, you go to the desktop and try to join from the desktop, but you have to have logged into your YouTube channel. The way you chat on YouTube, you must be logged into YouTube for you to be able to join as a member. You can't join from outside. You must be on YouTube, then click the link while you're logged into your YouTube, then you'll be given the processes of joining. So without you logging into YouTube, there is no way you can transact on the YouTube channel. That could be the challenge. But always, okay, it is the Android, or rather the phone version is a bit complicated, and it's because the options I think YouTube is more considerate to desktop services than mobile services. It's when they are upgrading to take care of mobile option. So if the mobile phone is giving you problem, log into the desktop, into your YouTube channel, then get that link, click on the link, it will give you all the steps in as a member. I think that makes sense. Thank you. Yes, teacher.
Ati unasema unisikie, hebu watu wako comment section kama mnanisikia mseme yes, mnanisikia. Nione pengine kama ni Bernard ako na
Hapo sawa, endelea.
Sawa. So Muturi ni kama is disappointed with the government. So hata yeye he began criticize. So me what I don't understand, Bernard. Watu wetu wa Mount Kenya, did they think that a miracle was going to happen and William Ruto was going to be a better person? Ama walimjua tu, lakini walitarajia nini? Unaona, mangoes come from a mango tree. People don't just change. So I'm wondering why they are behaving like they are surprised, because me, I'm not surprised by all this behavior. So my conclusion is Ruto and Gachagua know they stole the votes. So my take, Bernard, I think even Baba had a half plus of Mount Kenya, and Mount Kenya did not come out kumira the way they were expecting. So they know that they are in danger. So now sasa Gachagua anaanza kujipanga na nani. So what do you think is the fate of Gachagua? Because akitemwa na Ruto mimi ningetamani atemwe. What do you think, Bernard, would be the fate of Gachagua?
Teacher, you are. I'm still losing. You said, what do I think about Gachagua?
The fate of Gachagua. The fate of Gachagua. Fate ya Gachagua ni nini?
Gachagua is finished. Kwani uone akibeg Uhuru Kenyatta?
Ati anaambia Mama Gina msamehe.
You don't begin begging wanasema a drowning man will what? You don't begin begging when you're doing well. Okay? So Gachagua and his nini is doomed. Is doomed. And like kuna nani amesema hapa, amesema kama Gachagua anataka kusamehewa na Kenyatta family, tunakubali kumsamehe on one condition. He should resign first.
Yeah, and he should resign and tell us how many votes they stole za Baba. Ama aji Bernard.
Yeah, I resign kwanza. Then sasa tumsamehe. Then itatupatia an easy time, because getting rid of Ruto for Gachagua to be president.
Na atuambie waliiba kura ngapi za Baba?
Yes, hiyo sasa ndio hiyo. Kwani msamaha, anaomba msamaha nusu? Aombe Mama Ngina peke yake, anaomba wa Kenya pia. Atuambie na yeye alicheza role gani katika mambo haya, anike kila kitu.
That is it. So I'm looking for your drama. It is, or Bernard, if we stop being naive, we assume we are naive. We say that it's a game plan ya Ruto. What do you think, Ruto na Gachagua?
Game plan ya Ruto kufanya nini?
Na Gachagua, hiyo game plan ya kuomba msamaha kwa Mama Gina.
Hapana. Ruto ameketi kitako. Ruto amebadilisha uongozi wa UDA. Amebadilisha watu serikalini, akaweka watu wake ambao wanamlinda. Unaona? So hajali kama Gachagua ataenda ama akae. It makes no difference. Gachagua hana kura. Akienda make any difference. Ndio unaona ana prefer Mudavadi, okay? Ama he's busy quoting Nyanza, okay? He's hoping that if he can get Nyanza and Western, he doesn't need Mount Kenya for 2027. And then, of course, he's also banking on the Somali vote, which is a serious vote at this point in time. So what Ruto is doing is not that eti anambembeleza Gachagua ama amemtuma Gachagua kuomba msamaha. Hapana, Gachagua ameachwa kwa mataa, so anaomba msaada aone kama akishikana na Uhuru Kenyatta then will become significant. The Mount Kenya vote will look more solid together, and it will look a challenge. You get that? So that if Mount Kenya joins another team against Ruto, then Ruto is finished. So he cares less about Gachagua because Gachagua is unable to consolidate Mount Kenya. He was unable to deliver Mount Kenya. Okay, and it is known now to both of them. They are understanding that they were not able to do that, and so even retaining Gachagua is retaining a burden. So getting rid of him is easing things, and that's what Ruto is doing. He's setting his house in order by getting rid of excess baggage.
So, do you think Ruto will go with Gachagua in 2027?
I don't think so. Ruto is planning to have a female running mate.
So you are
you
also
didn't read the hilarious. There is a hilarious caption that was sent that Gachagua has at least 4 years to become a female.
Okay, so Bernard, you are buying the Wanga. I'm not buying the Wanga story. I don't think so. The Wanga
Which Wanga story?
There are people coming up with allegations that Ruto is planning to run for presidency with Wanga. This lady from Nyanza,
No.
Wanga.
The Gladys Wanga, the Homa-based governor.
Yes.
No, that's far-fetched. Don't forget we are the UDA. The UDA 36 bloggers are still on duty, and their business is to twist the stories. Gladys Wanga is a 2-term governor. Until he finishes 10 years in Homa Bay, she's going nowhere.
And anyway, she's doing a good job. Now, my take is, I don't think Mount Kenya will be consolidated behind Gachagua at all, however much he tries to beg Uhuru. But I think Mount Kenya will be out for grabs for the next presidential candidate. When the next compromise candidate, especially when baba atasema tosha. Kama baba atatosha, atasema mtu tosha. Hata kama beda nakwambia hata huyu Kalonzo mnaona. If baba dare say Kalonzo tosha, that man will go places. So I don't think Mount Kenya will consolidate behind Gachagua at all. Hata even if akienda kwa Mama Ngina apiga magoti aombe kama ameangalia Kirinyaga. Mount Kenya. I do not see Mount Kenya consolidating behind
shida sio kuomba msamaha hata. Shida ni wakati ulikuwa kiongozi, okay? Ni nini ambacho umefanya ambacho kimesaidia watu wa Mount Kenya?
Yes.
Umewafungia baa zote. Umewanyang'anya kahawa. Umemaliza makadamia.
Yes.
Umemaliza majani, okay? Wewe ndio deputy, unawaambia wewe ndio kiongozi wao. So saa hii Mount Kenya imenawa mikono kuhusu Gachagua. Hawezi kulazimisha Ruto kulipa wakulima ama kutetea wakulima. Hana uwezo wa force anything. Okay? Si kama unajua tofauti ya Ruto wakati Ruto alikuwa deputy president, okay? Na Uhuru ni kwamba Ruto alikuwa na stamina mpaka ndani ya parliament. Okay? Ndio alikuwa na threaten ataondoka with his Jubilee. Okay? And begin to vote against government. That is one of the reasons why Uhuru had to reach out to Baba so that he can feel safe with the ODM vote. That if Ruto walks away with his URP people who are in Jubilee, the ODM will always help when it comes to wherever government bills in parliament. So it was a safeguard, which Ruto did not want because wanted to expose Uhuru and make Uhuru be naked because he doesn't have enough numbers in parliament and he doesn't have goodwill. So the reconciliation, the handshake between Baba and Uhuru was to save Uhuru's presidency, which Ruto wanted to run down at that time, at that point in time. Now, comparing Gachagua to Ruto, okay, as deputy president, what can Gachagua do that can threaten Ruto?
Nothing.
Nothing. So he's of no political value or no political whatever capability to post anything. He can't even demand that farmers must be paid otherwise. Otherwise what? Yes.
Umeona, sijui kama umeona hata MPs wa wa Mount Kenya wamheshimu akina Didi Nyoro na akina Ishungwa. Then there is an MP, nimetuma clip hapo kwa group. There is an MP who was complaining that that the country has lost investors. In other words, Gachagua, even the MPs alone wa Mount Kenya, they cannot unify behind him, leave alone the common man. So I mean, it is, but you know what, Bernard, what goes around comes around. William Ruto spent his 10 years fighting Uhuru, right? Huh? And when they finished, he said Uhuru ndiye alikuwa mbaya. And when they were vying, wakasema kwamba wao na Gachagua, they will not behave like Uhuru. Now, how are they behaving? I'm telling you, what goes around comes around. This is so interesting. I love everything that is happening because one of these fine days we shall say things fall apart. Things
Exactly what he says. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever man sows, the same he shall reap.
Is what
one of the things that the problem with the William Ruto's administration is that its problems cannot be solved because they are a harvest of a seed that he sowed during Uhuru Kenyatta. Okay, somebody was saying the reason why Moi could not be overthrown from office is because he never attempted to overthrow Kenyatta. He did not sow the seed of rebellion. That's why when anybody rose up against him, he would not succeed to overthrow him. But Ruto planned even the overthrowing of Uhuru Kenyatta. Even planned for the elimination of Uhuru Kenyatta. He was so much in a hurry to be president that he couldn't wait for the 5 years.
Bernard, he even had the audacity to say he could have slapped the president. Mimi nakwambia, mimi nasimanga hapa. That man said that when Uhuru was still president. Ati ni ukweli ningemchapa coffee. Uhuru could have called him amwambie kuja tuongee, alafu ampatie mangumi na mateke, amwambie nilisikia ulisema you would have slapped me. Now I have called you. We square it now. Before the security will intervene, before security to stop me, ningekuwa Uhuru, wao unaona Uhuru ako na mwili, ningechapa huyo jamaa mangumi na mateke. Before bodyguard washangae kunaendaje, nimempea 2-3, nimwambia si nilisikia usema you would have slapped me. I want us to square it now. William Ruto had the audacity of saying in public that he would have slapped the president. So penye unapanda utaripa. If you sow wickedness, you will reap and wickedness. I am telling you, this government, William Ruto, Gachagua, and their hawks and dogs will fall into the same pit they dug, and by their own sword. One of these fine days, hata baba tu haitakuwa baba maazimio, baba atakuwa AU. Tutakuwa tukicheka tu Bernard. Wacha watu wanasema maandamano. Now we are hearing maandamano. We are hearing maandamano at MPs wa Mount Kenya wanakwenda na Babu Owino kwenda maandamano. Did they expect that, Bernard?
Hii maandamano itakuwa ya kimataifa, ile Babu Owino amesema is better imagined than experienced. So if they want it, they will get it. But you are right about harvest time, huh? And that's what I'm saying. It's a complication. A complication in the sense that ukishapanda kitu na kika machua kikafika harvest, hawezi kurudisha ikuwe seed na hawezi kureverse, unaona? So tukisema kwamba serikali ya Ruto imefika harvest time, ni kwamba hata tukiombea ile process ya kureverse haiwezekani. So they are going through a harvest time of the yields they planted. And so those yields have to eat them up. There is nothing we can do to stop. And that's why everything they are touching is falling apart, because it is time no longer. It is past time. Okay? Ni kama hatuwezi kuzuia hizi vitu zote ambazo zinafanyika kinyume na serikali ya Ruto, kwa sababu ni malipo ya yale ambayo alitekeleza both in public and in private against the Uhuru Kenyatta administration as deputy. Don't forget, as deputy. Yani when you assistant, lakini unanichi. When you assistant, unajaribu kuni overthrow. When you assistant, unachukua nusu ya serikali unaenda nayo kuni frustrate. Okay? This is just the beginning. We're going to see really rebellion. Now Mount Kenya is going to consolidate. What not under Gachagua. They are going to consolidate against Ruto. You know, they if they can't consolidate because of somebody, they will consolidate against somebody.
Yes, you are right. That is
So
the
they
one.
will come together against Ruto. Now, when they come together against Ruto, nobody's going to break them. Okay? And when that begins to happen, like right now, they are threatened because ground may shift. Haswa wale watu walipigia finance bill. So nyumbani kumeharibika. That's why unaona wanakampu wanasema, oh, unajua you can't expect a member of parliament to read the document and get the nitty gritty. Some of the things we voted, we did not understand. You need to, but we will tell the government not to implement them. They are talking like that because the ground has given up on them and they are desperately in need of that ground, because wanajua you can't reverse that in 3 years. So they will all resign from the Ruto sycophants because they don't need Ruto. Okay? They will all go back home and begin to beg the people, tulidanganywa, huyu mtu kumbe alikuwa mwizi, huyu mtu kumbe alikuwa vile Uhuru alituambia, Uhuru tusamee. So hii msamaha imeanza tu. This Gachagua is in the introductory. But the really people to beg for forgiveness are the members of parliament, because hawarudi wengi wao, haswa Mount Kenya.
Yes, Bernard, you are right. That is the conclusion that we make. As those MPs do not need Ruto to be re-elected. And if they dare mention Ruto, watachapa na mawe.
So that is it. So the same way Ruto doesn't need Gachagua, the members of parliament of Mount Kenya don't need Ruto. You see now, hii kitu imeboil mpaka imefika now, inaitwa nini, precipitate, okay? It cannot change anymore. Imefika its maximum.
Yeah.
So Ruto is not needed in Mount Kenya. And Mount Kenya don't need Ruto to be, members of parliament don't need Ruto to be re-elected. So ukienda huko kwa jina la Ruto, unapoteza kura. Nani ataenda huko kwa jina la Ruto?
Hata MP moja wa Meru akisema ati watu wanatulaumu kwa sababu ya serikali hii imefanya, si serikali imefanya, watu watuchukia hapa kwa ground. An UDA MP in Meru was saying that. So Bernard, I know you want to close this, but I tell you, this is interesting. This is so interesting, and I look forward to more drama. Mimi, I just want to ask Kenyans to look at Ruto's government and see how come nothing is working in this government. Can't they ask either au ni wezi wanapora pesa, they are on a looting spree, stealing Kenyan money left and right. Our schools have no money, our hospitals have no money, wakinyanganya watu pesa in the name of housing levy and all that. And before, as we talk about that, Bernard, we are moving from drought to floods, flood to drought, road accident to terror attack, to Bernard, hii nchi hata iko na shida mingi kuliko Haiti. Wacha nifikishe hapo Bernard, ukitaka kufunga unaweza funga.
Okay, so asante sana mwalimu. Thank you so much for your contribution. We'll keep going as we begin to wind up the show. It's interesting time to be alive in Kenya because unajua watu huwa wanajidai sana kwamba tulitaka urais, tukapambana, tukaomba kura, mkatuombea, Mungu akafanya hivi hivi, tukafanyika rais. Sasa kumeharibika. Wale ambao Mungu alifanya hivi hivi, sasa inaonekana Mungu ataendelea kufanya hivi hivi ili waendelee kufanya nini? Kutawala. But from the Asil 2 TV ananikumbusha hapa ni saturation. Yes, umefika saturation. Nothing can be done to salvage the situation. So Ruto is no longer an item for sale in Mount Kenya. The Mount Kenya member of parliament don't need him. He doesn't need Gachagua. And so things are saturated in such a way that nothing can be done to change anything. That means that, I don't know, a very drastic thing has to take place if William Ruto is going to win the trust of Kenyans again. But in my analysis, I don't think so. The situation is hopeless, and I believe Ruto knows that. And I don't know whether he's at home with the same. I hope he is, because from the look of things, hapa sivyo. Okay, quickly, I'll play this video and then begin to close. I still encourage us. Those who want to send M-Pesa, I forgot to give you the details. Let me just quickly take you through the details here for the M-Pesa contributions. You can either use the till number. There you go. The till number for M-Pesa, that is Safaricom M-Pesa buy goods. The till number is 516575. Sound Candy Talk, or you use the M-Pesa line. Those of you who are using M-Pesa line, it's +254718454585. The number once again, +254718454585. Bernard Makoha is the name. And watch out on the spelling of Makoha, is Makokha. There are those who read it upside down. Huh? They put the ha before the ko and all, brings all complication. Because of security reasons, M-Pesa nowadays is very strict on the including spelling. So copy hilo jina vizuri, unaweza take screenshot ili upate hizo details, na tafadhali kumbuka we have a deficit, so tusaidiane tafadhali. This time round, be more generous, send more than usual, so that we are able to offset whatever we owe and be able to pay whatever that is due for us to keep going, even as God enables us. Thank you so much for always being there for us and supporting us. You are the reason why we are still here. Please keep us here, and we pray that we will not disappoint you. So let's be active on the same. Then membership. Membership is on YouTube. If you have problem joining using your mobile phone, you try the desktop or the PC. The laptop, that including the laptop and all that, it will help a great deal, because YouTube was built for desktop, and so they are just integrating the mobile features, and some of them are not so advanced. So please, if you try to be a member and you find it difficult using your mobile gadget, attempt the same using the PC. It will work faster, and you will see the details better. And like is suggested by our friend Outset, the diasporians, let's work hard about this membership issue. If we can only get 100 members who subscribe for giving us at least the $5 per month for the next 12 months. It will make a huge difference. If we double that, we'll be sorted for all our bills every month for the next 12 months. So please help us. And then if you enjoy this kind of content, don't enjoy it alone. Help somebody to locate us, help somebody to subscribe and follow our broadcast. I believe you profit when we analyze things openly like this. And of course, we seek only the truth. We want Kenyans not to be deceived or fall for the propaganda government that is out to lie on everything and about everything. Now, here is the video that Malim Julia was talking about. Let's look at it as we close.
And the National Assembly Committee on Trade and Industry has raised concern over the number of investors relocating from the country over high cost of production. The committee chairman, James Gakuya, says hundreds of Kenyans have lost their jobs after the companies shut down their operations. The exodus is attributed to high cost of doing business, rising taxes, high electricity costs, and lack of investment incentives.
You go to industry area. Industry area was a booming area. Today, it is deserted. Yes, you cannot even be able to know whether that is the industry area we knew. Why? Then the market has gone back to China. All the dependents that have been making industrial grow has now diverted to China and importing from China. Then we're asking themselves, why can't you bring China here?
Why can't you bring China here? You're asking who? Kaguya, tell us first. Did you vote for the finance bill? If you did, don't deafen our ears with your noise, please. You championed for the finance bill. You campaigned for the finance bill. You voted for the finance bill. Then you turn around and say, why are investors fleeing Kenya? Kwani umesahau mambo matatu? Kaguya, please spare us that madness. Keep it to yourself. Mambo matatu. Usafirishwe uende mbinguni. Nani atakaa hapa asafirishwe kwenda mbinguni? Ama aende jela? Si ahame kwa nchi nyingine. Wanafanya hivyo. They are obeying the three things za William Ruto, the policy of William Ruto. So you know where the problem is. You know who is causing people to flee. You know the reason why they are fleeing. Go and address the matter to the source. Enda uone Ruto umwambie wewe umefukuza waegezaji. Umeharibu uchumi. That is how members of parliament behave. Sio hii ya kwenda kuita committee na kuita press conference na kutuambia hapa kile kitu tunajua. Wewe ndio ulikuwa champion kwa kwanza kupiga kura. Nyinyi ndio mmekataa kufikiria. Wale Sifuna anasema you don't wait for the debate. You sit in the parliament waiting to put the question. They put the question, you answered the question. These are the consequences of the question you answered. We need parliamentarians who can think, who can scrutinize things and be able to vote according to what is valid, not according to what they have been told to do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being part and parcel of this great conversation. I really want to appreciate you for always being here. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for those who are sending in your contribution to help us pay our bills. We look forward to engaging further. Please, let's keep sharing the video and sharing the details. I really want to salute the Facebookers. Leo mmeanguka kura kabisa. Yani watu wa Facebook sijui kumeendaje. Ni vile kwa sababu mchana yote tulikuwa na Brian Shira's funeral. Lakini ilikuwa kila mahali mpaka kwa X. Inaonekana watu wa Facebook mmeanza kutuleti down. Muamke tafadhali. Ninyi ndio mlikuwa mnaongoza. You must fight to get back your glory. All the same, let me get the verdict of the poll question as we begin to wrap up the show tonight. Thank you so much for making it a success. I want to salute 34 people liked the video. Thank you so much. 74 people cast their vote. Should the Kenyatta family forgive Gachagua for his relentless attacks to Mama Ngina? Okay, 12% say yes, the Kenyatta family should forgive Gachagua. 88% wanasema no, hakuna haja ya kusamehe Gachagua, aende kujipanga vingine. Okay? Haya ndio uamuzi wa wengi wa Kenya, wanasema hakuna msamaha. Na nani hapa amesema kama Gachagua anataka kusamehewa, asamehewe on condition kwamba ana resign. So a resign kwanza, ili akikuja kuomba msamaha, hiyo mambo ya chunguzwe na yaangaliwe kama atapewa ama hatapewa. Cha muhimu hapa ni wewe kusimama imara kama Mkenya mzalendo, kutetea haki ya kila Mkenya. Kama vile tunasema kila mara, Kenya for all Kenyans is the only Kenya that can work. The Kenya for the few against the rest has never worked for 60 years. It can't work, and it can't start working now. So let's all forge for Kenya for all Kenyans. Let's fight for Kenya for all Kenyans. Let's resist the Kenya for the few against the rest. When that is achieved, I guarantee you, this country will be a first world within no time. God bless you. Thank you for being part and parcel of this. Let's meet again in our daily bite, early morning show. And please, let's keep sending in our contribution even after the show. I really want to salute each one of you that have been part and parcel of this support. You have made the difference. Please, let's keep that particular difference. Let me just share the text message of the details of how to send your contribution in case you didn't get the one on the screen. Here is the other one, the text one. Please, let's respond. It's available on YouTube and Facebook. X does not receive those details, so I think you get it on the screen when we display the one on the screen. So kama unafuata kwa X, tumia hii ya screen kupata details jinsi ya kutuma msaada wako. It's voluntary and it is all according to your willingness to support the channel and being part of this great conversation. So please, tunahitaji msaada wako tunapoendelea na mambo haya. Cha muhimu, tuendelee kushare hii video, kushare information na watu wote ambao wanapaswa kuwa hapa na kuwa sehemu ya mazungumzo haya. Mungu awabariki, tukutane tutakapokutana. Asante.
Bible Online Summit, mafundisho ambayo inakupatia wewe nafasi ya kuelewa Mungu wako vizuri. Kutana na Reverend Ingozi, Apostle CJ pamoja na Bishop Silas Kanali kwenye Triumphant Bible Media kila siku ya Jumatano kuanzia saa 3 asubuhi hadi saa 7 mchana. Usikose.